about this one also. Now these are two slightly different algorithms because volume is sort of complicated. It's not as straightforward as just stuff hitting the tape. So we have lots of different algorithms, three strong volume, and so here's how we're going to start looking for stuff that's hitting the news and beating it. Okay, here we go. So in this case, I'm going to go for relative volume of something like 2. Okay, and I'm going to say volume today, it had to have hit at least 300, let's say 500,000. Because if there's not 500,000, it couldn't have been that interesting of a news in the first place. Okay, so we got all of our exchanges, look at the bulletin boards, hide and use. Now I'm going to see what's going on. And just for talking purposes, Brad, I'll put in a 0.5. Anything I'm missing, Mr. Williams, that you...
The world is your oyster here. No, that's
news, sniffer, big guy. Okay, so let's take a look at what happens. So I'm going to right-click history, and this is the other thing that you should see. So because, again, we have a database, I can go back to that database. Can't I, Brad? Go back to the
ahead. And I didn't, honestly, I wasn't looking at your configuration. I was answering questions.
Brad.
What do you have there?
2.15.
There's no reason why you shouldn't be getting some stuff. Well, maybe because you're right. Yeah, right now you have some very high rate alert specific filters for a post market session, but you are trying to look for history.
But I want to see it today. Oh, volume today percentage. Who is smarter than I am? Who is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I love that guy. See, Brad, I don't need you when I have our people. Very good. Thank
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for that?
Yes. I love that. It's volume today percentage. He caught that I accidentally clicked on the percentage versus the shares. Very good call. That can happen to anybody, even me. Someone's actually paying attention. Brad.
But I was helping people.
But wait. But then I'm going to show you how we get rid of like the ETF stuff. So one of the people always asks us, how do you get rid of ETFs? And I'm going to show you, this is a trick that we show all the time. Put in an earnings filter of a cent or losing a cent. So it has to be either making some or losing some money. ETFs don't have that. And all this other stuff doesn't have it. Okay, so right-click, history, and today. And I'm going to add some columns so we can kind of see a little bit more of what's going on. Okay, so columns, I'm going to add the relative volume so I can see what's going on the relative and maybe even the 1 minute time frame. Okay, so history, real time, and you can kind of see that a lot of stuff is happening here, especially at the 2.2 volume. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to history and I'm going to go to time frame and I'm going to say right now it's going to be 7 in the morning this morning. Oops. So this is how you do it. So right now it's 7 in the morning and I'm going to go to the open. So I'm basically going to look at roughly a half hour worth of data to kind of really see where would this news, like what's hitting the news. And sure enough, you got stuff where things are happening. But even, by the way, on the best case, like this is the example of Target. You know, let me just give you why news doesn't matter. Okay, so Target today gaps up like $1.83 on relatively good earnings, here's your news, and proceeded to really give all of it back almost. And that's how it reacted to it. So what you have to do is really not worry about the why, but worry more about, is something happening? It's an is, not a what. And there was tons of stuff happening. People were selling into these things. And this is how you see the news. You see the news first through the price action as people panic in the market before. Look at the volume on the 1 minute chart here. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? There's something's happening. And the reason is because look how far it traded. 453. So that's, again, from 4 to, I guess that was like, what, 710? So in half an hour, almost 57, almost 50 points. And here it starts to go. And notice, again, you can see people reacting to it. Here it's hitting currently at 17 times average daily volume by 4 minutes into the open. By the time news gets out, it's out fast. Okay? So I'm just saying that you use technology to find where the action is on the news. And any action, this is the thing, no matter what, it's going to be found. So here it is, here we're finding it. And however it continues. And there's and by the way, I'm not even the best one at it, Brad. This is one of those ones where, you know, probably a better view mode because of the way it streams. And we could, again, there's tons of stuff that we can, I don't think it's as appropriate for the Q&A, but maybe we'll do do you have a view mode video, Brad?
A view mode video?
Somewhere, I mean, I'm sure we have one possibly on.
Yeah, I did a presentation or a webinar once, and I had a video recorded of it during the day, but I don't think I archived it or anything. It really, yeah, because when you use different view modes, it does allow you to look at the data in a different way, right? Right now, normally an alert window is always going to show you the most recent alert up at the top, but we can set it up so you can have the columns kind of rank the order. Maybe the count column, which is telling you how many times is that stock made that 1 minute volume.
Brad, let's show people how to do that. So since I have it up, and I love that idea. So we're going to search. So let me just start from scratch here. I have this window, and like Brad said, I would want to see it by where stuff is, the most stuff that has happened. So I right click and I go to configure, and first of all, I'm going to add the count as a column. So I'm going to go to column. And I don't have it in here, so I'm going to say search.
And then I would also say that if I was going to do some type of group and sort by count, I probably wouldn't want to have a lot of different alerts in that window, right? I'll only really want to be looking at one of these.
So you're gonna, great, right? So that you can, and what the reason Brad's saying that, so that he can isolate something very specific. And a good thing to isolate is this 1 minute volume spike. Okay. Because again, this is just, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, and I'm actually going to make this a 40, but we'll get rid of everything else. So hit OK, OK, here it goes. So Brad, how do we do that?
So now what you want to do, there are a couple ways to do it. I think one of the ways you can double click on the column heading for count. That's not how I normally do it, but yeah, that brings up this group and sort by, and this is where you tell it, what do you want it to do? You want to look at the symbol option. Do you want to look at that?
So if we want to see something with the most of these 1 minute spikes, we would say,
well, that's going to be the sort, that's going to be your sort direction, right? So that's going to be descending, and descending is going to give us the biggest number on top, right? And so we're going to do count, and this, the top option right there, the symbol option, when you're looking at it in real time, it's giving you the option to look at the very first instance or be looking at the very last instance. So you can go ahead and keep oldest. Yeah.
So.
It's not going to be super interesting here after hours because a lot of the data is not coming through, but when it's coming through, it's ranking it. So you're going to see what's going to rise to the top are the stocks that have the most occurrences of this particular alert.
Right. And you can kind of see what that looks like right now. Like look at, this, for example. See, that's something that you might want to know because it stands out so much, from the others. So this is one of these ways that our technology can evolve your game, because we approach all this stuff that from a pure data-centric point of view. And see these count alerts? Does that not remind you of this? That's where it all comes from. Because in the background, our software is doing this count for all sorts of different things, for the filters, for the alerts, and that's how we get the AI, and that's our approach. The trick that we are solving for you guys is that by yourself, when you're seeing this data, even with incredibly powerful technology like trade ideas, you will still be facing the conditions of the wind. Here we go. We're going up, going up, going up. Boom, we went down pretty fast. I started talking, so what I'm going to do is here, first of all, Brad, let's go to history, real-time, new sniffer. Let's do something real quick. I'm going to right-click, save, and share to the cloud. And then I'm going to paste that link for everyone into the chat window. So now everyone has the new sniffer alert window. Something cool to possibly watch for tomorrow. I have another one that you might want to be checking out, and it's called Slippery When Wet. And again, this one is looking for kind of like things that are curling over, but haven't really necessarily curled over yet in the near term. So we're trying to find that. This is, again, investigating the down move. See these little curls, the curl, and so on. So I'm going to save this one for you guys as well, so you can kind of start seeing where some of these short ideas could possibly come from. Okay, so now, Brad, let's finish up with the last of the questions. How are we caught up? What's the most important thing that people would like to ask questions
So
about?
I have a question here on the track record for the AI, and I brought up on my screen, maybe you can bring it up on yours, the performance by day from our back office.
Okay, hold on one second. I will.
Might take a moment to load, but we do keep the data here, and the AI has been running since January of 2016. We've been making enhancements all along the way, and we do keep track records of both risk-on profitability and risk-off profitability.
Yeah, I'm bringing it in so that once it comes up, I'll show everybody what it looks like. There's so many things, it takes forever to load up. But one of the things that we're doing, by the way, is we're also working on making it easy for you to see all of the AI information.
Yeah, we want this information to be accessible by you guys as well. So that's one of the things that we're working towards doing.
Okay, so this is kind of cool.
That's not the one I was going to, but okay.
Well, I'm kind of jumping ahead,
okay.
Right? So this is what we're soon bringing to the table. So you're kind of getting to see a little bit of the back office here, where you can go to any range, do market cap. These are all the different algorithms that we're doing. So you can look all of them up. This is for people, of course, who have the access to the AI and see what's going on and how it's doing, net, gross, and versus the S&P. So Brad, let me go to the other one, the overall day one.
I think that's a little bit easier to do. And this view right here is best of risk on, risk off. But go ahead and choose one of the two, like risk off.
I'll go to risk off mode, which is the most conservative.
So that makes it a little bit easier to visually see how the AI has been performing compared to the spiders, which is what the blue line is from
Right.
January of
Well, also, let me put in a date range of, let's see, so let's do this year. One,
It won't work that way. You got 2017-01.
2017 dash, thanks for the example in there, month 01 and 01 to 2017 dash 5 dash 18.
I think you need to do 01 or 05.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay, and submit.
Sure.
So I believe if this works, okay, so here we are compared to the S&P this year since we started. So a very detailed track record of everything. So the SPY performance is basically just the addition of the accumulation of the SPY ETF. Like January 1, the SPY ETF and the Trade Ideas AI start at 0, and then they all start performing. So for the SPY, it's not long and short. The SPY is just the SPY, because the only thing you can compare it to is if you were invested in the S&P, how would you do versus if you were trying to match the AI. And that's why things look the way they look. Risk on, the more aggressive version. I just screwed up the date. But again, that's the level of detail, and this is the stuff that we are bringing to you. So I think that's it. Did we answer? Let me then jump back to the presentation. So remember, the key today, in my opinion, was the highlight of the fact that we're moving towards the full visualization of your trading data. And by the way, this whole risk on loss was that EXR trade. So the stock, so today, like, had Holly not gotten out of this one, or had one not happened, it really was a scratch day for the AI. And this is what it all looked like. That's risk on, and that's risk off, which is what it was today, because this one was the second trade. So that's the thing right here. This is what is, in my opinion, one of the biggest and baddest innovations, being able to visually see the stop and your entry and kind of the targets at the same time. So as soon as you get into something, you'll understand where the software is going and where your exit is going to be. So Brad, can you answer Kay's question? It seems like you might know that a little bit better.
Yeah, that's some functionality that's not yet in the software, but eventually we're going to be tying in the price alerts and Brokerage Plus to be able to get some automated execution off of your price alerts. But that functionality is not there yet.
Right. The price alerts will, in essence, become a simple conditional order, which is really all the staging is there for that. So slippery when wet. I put in a window for everyone called slippery when wet. And this window is designed, it's a top list window. And this window is designed to look at stocks that are exhibiting a pattern where there could be some weakness. This is the behavioral testing for weakness. So when we do AI, the part of the human in the AI is what we call initial concepts. Okay? So the human says, hey, you know, I've got this concept called the spitball, or, you know, I'm just making stuff up, whatever concept, the triple Z or the triple Y. And we kind of come up with it in this way, and we test it out to see behind the scenes if there's any statistical validity to these windows. We do it both through an alert window that does the actual like MIT card counting, but we also do it in the human way where we say, well, I know the statistics are saying this, but what is the window telling me? So I'm giving you guys kind of like a piece of scaffolding that we use when we design things for the AI, so you can kind of understand how we come up with concepts. These will always be negative, why it's called slippery when wet. But sometimes when, you know, there is just no point to look at it. Whereas right now it seems like, especially in the kind of market that we're in, like imagine catching this one at 37 and having it fall to 33. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that 10%. And you know, and this is like, what opened my eyes was this. Because this was one that Holly had also kind of like SAUC, sauce. She had been calling this one since like right here. And, you know, talking about it, and kept on going. And then, you know, came down. But look at the down move when that happened, Brett. You know?
Yeah, so much emotion in that move right there, man.
Oh. And it's like, shot through the heart. You give love a bad name. And when I saw that, I was like, you know what? People really need to start, again, being aware that this side of the market is just, it's there. And it is up to us to be the ones who are saying, hey, this ROL, it could be at 36. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to like say, okay, I'm calling a top. But like over here, you know, or let's say at 39, it might look really interesting, especially if the market continues lower. So this is what we're showing with slippery when wet. Hopefully that answered the questions.
Looks like the sort order is what changed over the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, sorted on what's down the most over the last 5 minutes. So it's constantly pointing you into the direction of the hypothesis. All right, guys, let's begin the wrap up so that everyone can be free to go home. Brad and I are, again, incredibly delighted to showcase the kind of technology that we bring to the table. I posted slippery when wet. It's in the chat. I want to kind of give you guys a quick understanding of what we do at Trade Ideas. We are there's only one real artificial intelligence consumer-facing product in fintech, and we are it. And the premium version costs $5 a day. That's what your $188 a year is. But it costs $188 a month or $2,000 a year. You should be comparing this to medical school, law degree, car purchase. That's the kind of stuff that this is in, and we think it's a pretty good deal. The basic product, which again does a lot of stuff, all the charting, I mean everything is in here, costs $99 a month or $888 per year. And again, we have no contracts. You can cancel at any time, and one of the best ways that we allow our customers to interact with our product is for free in our trading room. So $188 for the premium, and again, now you're going to be able to visualize all of this stuff. So important. You're going to Brokerage Plus for free for the premium service. And there is a promo code, SESSION, all in caps, that gives you 15% off your first month or the year if you use it. Again, super, super good deal. We are easy to get a hold of. We have a Facebook page. Please like us on Facebook. I am Trade Ideas 1 if you want to see crazy things on Twitter. I'm a little bit, you know, I have a persona.
You're a little bit crazy.
A little bit crazy. At Trade Ideas is more of our corporate account. info@trade-ideas.com is our general email, and I, the CEO, can be spammed at dan@trade-ideas.com.
You know, Dan, one thing that I don't think, maybe you said it, but I didn't see it, is the fact that all new users, all new subscribers get a one-on-one training session with someone who really knows what they're doing.
Yeah, this is right here. Thank you, Brad, for pointing that out. That's really actually something that also no one else does. when you subscribe to Trade Ideas, we put you in the queue and you get a one-on-one session because we believe ballet and high-touch information needs to be served. You guys are our clients, not just some subscriber. And as our client, we work you through to get you the kind of, first experience that you need to be a long-term member of our community and utilize this artificial intelligence. Guys, we are taking over. Everyone is going to want this. And the fact that you're here only says that you're early adopters. So that's awesome. Thank you very much for coming here and spending time with Brad and I. We look forward to presenting you more stuff, and things are changing on the daily. That's how fast things are coming up. Indicators, charts are what's being worked on. Brad, you were fantastic.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Brad Nelson, for mentioning that. There you go for everyone. Brad Nelson had one with Andy, so Andy's amazing. Again, everyone, thank you so much for your time. Brad, take care. Please make sure the recording of this will be up, right, Brad?
Yeah, I started a little bit late, but I did get most of it. Sorry.
What do we do without Scott?
I know. It really shows the importance.
Exactly. Again, thank you, everybody. Take care. Good evening.
Bye, everybody.